Do you think the Chiefs are cooked?
If 15 is on the field, we got a shot. Right. We got a shot to win. Just no matter what the situation is, if he's on the field, we got a shot. He's playing a lot more physical football than I think I've ever seen a quarterback play, a guy of his size. If I was on his team, I'd be like, hey, bro, I don't know what's going on. What this macho thing is you going through, but I need for you to chill out.
Is it weird, Tom Brady being part of the organization?
Even though the Tuck rule was 24 years ago, it's very weird, yes.
Yeah.
It's very, very weird. You have to know Mark Davis and what he's looking for, and and I think Tom presented a package to him that he couldn't turn down.
So you got a golf tournament coming up. It's the first one, apparently, right? The inaugural.
Yeah. The inaugural one for. We've done golf tournaments before, but it's going to be the first one for this group. And so it's fresh start, Surgical Gives. I don't know if you know anything about them or not, but they are the folks who donate for the kids who are born with the cleft palates and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. They donate these surgeries to these kids. So it's pretty remarkable stuff to see what they do.
Yeah, I saw that. Was it Timon sent over the information?
Oh, yeah. Probably.
Yeah, it's pretty commendable. So that's November 9th and 10th, right?
Yes.
So who you got coming so far?
What's that?
Who you got coming? It's a celebrity tournament, right?
So, the usual suspects, man. Marcus Allen, Jerome Bettis and Vince Coleman, Eric Dickerson. We're trying to confirm Emmett here in town. He lives right here, lives 2 miles away from the golf course, but he's extremely difficult to confirm. So Marcus Ware be there. Spud Webb will be there.
Oh, wow.
So, so we should have a nice little crowd.
Yeah, you sound like you got some Hall of Famers there. That's pretty cool.
No doubt. Got some OG Hall of Famers, Cliff Harris from back in the day. You don't even know who Cliff Harris is, do you? Yeah, you're too young for that.
Yeah. I'm up there, but I think you're about where I started.
The Cowboys back in the day. So,
okay.
Cool, Charles Haley will be there. Tony Dorsett, I think, is going to come. He doesn't play golf, but he's going to come to the event. And Ed Too Tall Jones will be there.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of him, yeah.
Yeah, so, so we should have a nice little crowd, man,
So how's your golf game?
Cowboys for all the Dallas folks,
Yeah, I'm sure. That's where it's at, right, Dallas?
Yeah, we're in Dallas, yes.
So how's your golf game? How would you say you are as a golfer?
Well, let me tell you this, man. I'm a leisure golfer, I believe, but I play pretty good, in tournaments and things of that nature. But something has happened here over the last year, man, that I'm 59 years old, so I'm not getting any younger. But these young kids who are coming out now, they got so much money in the bank, brother. They don't have to do anything but play golf, right?
You mean like Steph? Like Steph Curry?
I'm talking about football players.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about football players. So we got a group of young guys, man. There's a group out there called Pro Rivals, right? And they're putting on all these tournaments. They had one tournament, 48 football players, 3-day walking tournament here in Dallas. We had a Riders Cup event in Tampa, football versus baseball versus hockey versus basketball, which was an incredible event. And we just had another event where they only had 20 football, 20 hockey, 20 basketball, 20 football, right? And I'm telling you, man, these young kids, they are playing golf like if you didn't shoot 72, 73, brother, you didn't have a chance. So I say all that to say this, that I'm telling myself, look, bro, this leisure golf stuff is not going to cut it. So if you're going to be in this thing, you got to get in it for real. So I'm working on my game. I got a teacher, man. I got all these gadgets and all this stuff. I'm trying to get 3 or 4 strokes better, brother, so we'll see.
It's a tough game. It's a tough game. I think that's why a lot of athletes, after they've, played their respective sport, they jump into it because it's such a challenge, right?
Yeah. So my guy tells me, he's like, Tim, look, the problem is this. you're a Hall of Fame Heisman Trophy receiver and all that stuff. And he said, how many practices did you miss, while you were playing? So, man, I didn't, I went 15 years without missing a practice. They held me out for a game, but I practiced every day. He said, you went 15 years in the NFL without missing a practice. But he was like, how often do you practice golf? And I'm like, oh, I warm up before I go out and hit 45, 50 balls. He was like, that's my point. He said, you guys come out here, you hitting 50 balls before the round, and you think you're going to go out here and shoot 72. It ain't going to happen. He said, you can become a Heisman Trophy Hall of Fame quarterback by not practicing, but you think you're going to become a great golfer, and just like, it's mind blowing, and there's so much truth to it because his whole point is, look, enjoy the game, man. If you're not going to practice and put the work in, when you go out, you're going to hit bad shots, and you're going to expect to hit the bad shots. Right. You know what I mean? If you hit a good shot, be happy. So
there's a real small margin for error with golf, isn't there?
Yeah.
It's such a tough game.
It really is, man. It's a it's a damnable game is what it is, because I mean it's those putts, man, that barely that don't, a half an inch away from the hole, you know what I mean? Or the ones that lip in and lip out and roll around and don't go back in. I mean, when that happens, I just say it's not going to be my day, you know what I mean? Because that putt should have gone in for sure.
So it's a short game that you're worried about then, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I can get the ball to the green now. I have to get better because when I'm in the fairway, I'm still not getting in that circle that I need to be in. I'm still 25, 30 feet away. And if you're going to make putts, you got to be within 15 feet to have a real chance to make putts, so.
True that. So who's the best athlete or, ex-athlete golfer? And then who would you say is the best Raiders golfer?
Well, I'll answer that last one first because that would be me.
That's you. I had a feeling you'd see that.
I mean, if we're going to count all four sports, obviously this guy Joe Pavelski, who's a hockey player, is just killing this little league that we have right now. He's winning every tournament that we have for the most part. So, so I think that has been. He's probably the best. Hockey players are usually pretty good players. Baseball players the pitchers are incredible players. I tell you what's happening now, man, and really, when we had the Writers' Cup and basketball sort of got lapped by everybody, right? They came in dead last. We beat hockey. Football beat hockey. So we were second behind baseball. But these basketball players, brother, I mean, they have gotten so much better in less than a year. I mean, it's really remarkable. Eddie Jones, Ray Allen.
Eddie Jones, there's a throwback.
Yeah, J.R. Smith. I'm telling you, these guys, and Steph, is probably the best of them all, but he wasn't there.
There's Austin Reeves. Was Austin Reeves there?
Who was that?
Austin Reeves, the Lakers guard.
No, he wasn't there. He wasn't there.
I heard he's pretty good. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you should look him up. I heard he's pretty good. Yeah.
Oh well. Well, I don't want him to come to these tournaments because that'd be another place I won't get. So.
All right. Let's go pivot a little bit to the Raiders. So you were drafted number 6 overall, right?
Yes.
And Genty's the next one that's been drafted 6 overall. What have you thought about? Because he's kind of getting a hard time right now. Just 3 games in, obviously that's such a small sample size. But what have you thought about Genty so far?
Well, look, he should be getting a hard time, but it's not his fault. I mean,
the offensive line.
The offensive line has not given him an opportunity to even get to the line of scrimmage. I was watching the game the other day, and my wife, who obviously she likes football because of I mean, I hope she does, you know what I mean, but she doesn't watch a lot of football with me unless it's Notre Dame or anything, something like that. But I was watching the game, and I was like, "Baby, come here," and I rewind this. And I just said, I want you to, just tell me what you think, right? And it was a couple of plays where Gentry was trying to run the ball, and he was getting hit by not one, not two, but three guys in the backfield.
Right.
And her limited, understanding of football, she was like, that don't look right. She was like, that shouldn't be happening. You know what I mean? So I mean, it's unfortunate for him right now that the offensive line is just not cooperating with what needs to happen. And until that happens, man, until they decide that they're going to make this running game go, it's going to be tough for him, because you think about him, that's probably different from a lot of other running backs, because he's such a small guy. He really needs to get that momentum going, before if he gets caught in the backfield, he's so light, they can just grab him, put him on the ground, but if he gets that momentum going, now he can lower that elbow on somebody and break a tackle. But he just hasn't had many opportunities, man. So, I hope that things will change. Well, look, if the Raiders are going to do anything this year, that has to change. And hopefully they're working on that right now.
So that's what you'd say the number one thing they got to change, because that was another question I was going to ask. It was the biggest issue for the Raiders right now. So it's just the offensive line.
Yeah, because I think look, man, I love my offensive line when we played. Right, we didn't have the best, we didn't have the greatest offensive line, but we had a bunch of guys who were dogs, man. Who Frank Middleton, Wisniewski, Lincoln Kennedy, these guys, man. They gave you everything they had, man. And they were my best friends, because I knew this. I could run the best route in the world. But if my quarterback is on his butt or running for his life, it don't matter, right? I'm not getting the ball. So I think from that standpoint, man, it was having a good offensive line is where the thing starts and ends,
Yeah, that's what I was gonna talk about. Geno Smith as well, because I mean, he came out the gates kind of, what was it, 300 and something yards. He looked pretty good, right? But it's he's been running for his life the last couple of weeks. And
the thing about Geno is he is the ultimate pocket quarterback, or he wants to be anyway, even though he has the ability to run. And I think what has to happen, I think he's going to have to get out of the pocket and run a little bit more, because right now he's a little too stationary. And if they know you're going to be 7 yards deep or 10 yards deep in the middle of the field, in the middle of the offensive line, then it's a lot easier for them to plan things and put you in that bucket or in that closet, man, where you can't get out of. And so I would hope that they are thinking about moving the pocket with him, let him do some more runs, some more passes on the run. And sometimes, he's got to turn a 3rd and 4 into a quarterback draw. It may be a pass call, but if they're playing man-to-man, that was a beautiful thing about Rich Gannon, man. If it was 3rd and 4 and he saw man-to-man and I saw man-to-man, I knew that I was pretty much blocking for Rich Gannon, right? Because he was, as soon as he had a break, he was going to come right off my butt if I was running underneath, to get that first down, especially if it's 3rd and less than 5, So I think in those situations, he really has to put himself in a mindset. If this guy is not open right away, I need to get out the pocket and go get the first down.
How do you feel about Pete Carroll? He's got kind of a tough job to do right now, right? Especially with everything. It's been like a revolving door of head coaches for years now. And he's not getting any younger, right? He's the oldest coach in the league.
Look, he seems to have a lot of energy, man. You see the guy running up and down the line of scrimmage, running up and down the sideline. So that doesn't seem to be an issue, man. And as long as he has the energy to do it, he has the ability to coach. That don't ever leave coaching. The coaches are always going to have the ability to coach you up. So I just think it's all about his energy level, man. If he can keep that up, and I hear the practices are lively with him, so
seen the footage. Yeah,
right. You just got to get the right people in place, man, and get this thing done, at this particular point. And the issue that one of the main issues I think we have in offense also is we don't really have a number one receiver.
That was my next question. Yeah, what do you think of the receivers? Because Trey Tucker kind of balled out last week. He had 3 touchdowns, but he's the only one that really kind of did anything in the passing game, right? So
Jacoby obviously is a good veteran quarter receiver. I hate to label him as a possession receiver, but I mean he showed a little burst. Caught a couple passes over the middle, and I saw a little burst with him. So really something that I've seen since he been with the Raiders, I believe. But so the guy's legs are lively. I just think you got to get these guys in the right position. Obviously, our passing game, they want to go through Brock. I think everybody understands that. Even the defense, they understand that too. But I think that we got to have a guy on the outside, man, to come up as that number one to make it easier for everybody else to do what they have to do.
Do you think Brock Bowers is a generational talent at tight end?
Yeah, I think he's think he is one of the best guys I've seen come out in a while. I mean, his ability to run routes, I think, is I mean, Kelsey, I don't know even how to explain his route running because I think they just got to the point where they just say, look, I'm going to go up 10 yards and then I'll make a decision what I'm going to do once I get up there, right? Because if a guy's inside, they go outside. If a guy's outside, they go inside. If the guy, they go zone, they just hook it up, right? So you're not really running routes. So, so they're just on a level that he couldn't play for any other quarterback or any other team right now because they'd be like, bro, really? I need you to go 10 and out. And he's like, no, he would be freaking out. But, I think Brock right now, man, his ability to literally run routes, I think it's a beautiful thing. Now, the one thing I would love to see them do a little bit more with him is right now it seems like a lot of his stuff is outside the numbers, outside the hashes, is to get him, 10, 12 yards in the middle of the field. Make it a lot easier for anybody, for everybody, for him and the quarterback,
Yeah, well, he's dealing with that knee issue too, right? So I think that's slowing him down a little bit. And obviously, Geno has no time, right? So that's not helping either. What was I going to say? Oh, well, you did mention Kelsey, so I was going to say, do you think the Chiefs are cooked?
Well, I'm gonna pretty much quote Kelsey here from a couple of years ago. We were at a golf tournament in Tahoe, and he came up. We were talking, man. I was congratulating on winning the championship or whatever, and somebody else was in the conversation, and he just said, "Hey, look, guys, let me tell y'all something. If 15 is on the field, we got a shot. Right. We got a shot to win. Just don't matter what the situation is. If he's on the field, we got a shot." And certainly you see that. You see that in his play this year. I mean, he's playing a lot more physical football than I think I've ever seen a quarterback play, a guy of his size, and he's not a super athletic. Yeah, he's not a super athletic guy, but I'm seeing him take on deep DBs, not running out of bounds and literally dropping his shoulder. And that's a little craziness, I mean, I mean, if I was on his team, I'd be like, hey, bro, I don't know what's going on. What this macho thing is you going through, but I need for you to chill out and run your butt out of bounds so we won't be peeling you up off the field one of these times. So, but, so to answer your question, man, you can't count that team out, man, as long as they have that guy throwing balls to everybody.
Right. Is it weird, Tom Brady being part of the organization after the Tuck rule and all that stuff?
I mean, even though the Tuck rule was 24 years ago, it is very weird. Yes. Yeah. It is very, very weird. And, a lot of Raider fans have come to me like I have a say-so in this deal, right? A lot of guys, a lot of people just don't like it, but you have to know Mark Davis and what he's looking for, and I think Tom presented a package to him that he couldn't turn down. It wasn't about the money. It's not about the money. It's about the people. It's about the resources that Tom travels with for the most part, and I think that that's what's what he felt like would be a big benefit for the team going forward.
Just got a couple more for you, man. Favorite Raiders teammate all time?
Well, I think without a doubt, and I'm thinking about this only because I was thinking how I was going to say it, but Marcus Allen, without a doubt, I think
Really? Okay.
I played 5 years with him, and he literally taught me how to play the game on a professional level.
Mm-hmm.
Just watching how he handled certain situations, both good and bad, but how he, no matter what he was going through, no matter how great it was or how bad it was, uh, he was always the team leader and always spoke from a position of the team and never from a personal point of view. And
Mm-hmm.
and when you're a guy of that stature, you can say what you want to say, and people, hey, well, it's Marcus Allen. He can say what he want to say, but by doing that, he would have brought more attention to himself and not to the team, and he was never about that, and so it was remarkable to me to see him go through some of the things he went through, um, and never complain about it, never ever complain about it, and not knowing when he left that a lot of that was going to come on me, which it did.
Right. Yeah.
So it wasn't tough for me because I had the blueprint already on how to handle it, and
He prepared you for it.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's pretty cool, man. It sounds like you guys are still pretty close then too, with him being in the tournament and everything.
Oh yeah. If we go more than a month without seeing each other, we trying to figure out what's going on. It's like
yeah. I heard a story you said. I think it was I can't remember what interview it was, but you tried to fix a hamstring injury with a inner tube or something, like put an inner tube.
It wasn't me. It was a Raiders trainer. Yeah, I mean that's
how crazy does that sound now?
Yeah, with a bicycle inner tube, they taped it to my butt and to my calf, and and I scored against the Giants. I scored on a 65-yard touchdown.
Yeah, I remember you saying that, but I bring that up because I think it's strange, kind of in professional sports over the last couple of years, that Achilles injuries just be like running rampant. It's like you saw Eckler go down, and then was it Najee Harris just went down, and then in the NBA with those three superstars going down, Lillard, Halliburton, and Tatum, all within what, a month?
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't remember this being a big problem growing up, like watching sports. I mean, do you remember that kind of happened a lot when you were playing? And what do you think is like the reason for it?
Not a lot. I mean, I can't remember, and I'm sure it happened, but I really can't remember one guy tearing his Achilles. My 16 years with the Raiders. I mean, we had some knee injuries, but not Achilles. But I think personally, what I believe is that back in the day, we played a lot of different sports. We weren't football players or basketball players or baseball players. We were basketball during basketball season, football during football season, and track or whatever, during the spring months. But I think now with so much focus on basketball, or football, that's all you do, that your body is just not that. I mean, what I did, and I built a racquetball court in my house.
Mm-hmm.
In my house when I in like 90, when I built that, I don't remember when I built that house, but I'm not in that house anymore. But and I did that because I had been playing racquetball for years and realized how great it was for me to do what I needed to do. You know what I mean? As far as running routes, and because when you're playing racquetball, you're running at that ball doesn't move, bro.
Right.
It doesn't move at all. You know what I mean?
So
you got to stop
and
go another direction. You know what I mean? And I think all that training, sort of gets your body ready to do all the crazy stuff that you may have to do on a football field. But if you don't prepare yourself for that, and all you're doing is running running routes all the time, running routes, then when you get in that weird position on the football field, in a game, which is going to happen, then it's very easy to for these things to happen. So that's my thoughts on it, man. That's what I believe. I believe that these guys are becoming one sport, guys, and that's all they do in the off season. They play basketball. I'm a basketball player. I play basketball. I'm a football player. I run routes. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I think because of that, you're seeing a lot of guys just wearing those same muscles down, and it gets to the point where they snap on them.
That's interesting. I never thought of that like that. I just have been kind of, ever since Kobe went down, I feel like it's just been one after the other. Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, DeMarcus Cousins, and now in the NFL, it's going crazy too. It's becoming so common that people, when they see it on the field, they know what it is. They know what the injury is, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's an Achilles.
Yeah.
The guy, you see the back of him, and his calf kind of like vibrates, and then he just goes right down like a ton.
Well, you can tell also because it's like they react as if they got kicked or something, right?
Right. Yeah.
And then they look behind them and like what hit me, right? And then they realize what had happened. It's that doggone Achilles popping. So.
Yeah, that's always been my nightmare, man. Playing ball at kind of an advanced age. I'm like, that's the last thing I want to happen is my Achilles just to go pop, and I'll know I'm done.
Yeah. No, it's I have to admit that I don't play a lot of pickleball, but every time I'm out there, man, I'm thinking about every
yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure.
I don't want. I was playing with my niece. We were playing partners, and a ball came, or the whipper ball, whatever you want to call it. It came, and my reaction was in my mind was to go, but my body was like
nope.
She said my feet just going in circles, like going in like this. I was like, I couldn't move because my body wanted to go, but my mind was saying, "Don't you dare!"
It's a trip, isn't it? It's really weird because you're so used to your body reacting.
Yeah.
So okay, I got two more, and then we're done, and they're both about wide receivers. Is there a wide receiver in the league that reminds you of you? And who do you think's the elite of the elite receivers in the league right now?
No, I'm going to say no, only because, most of the receivers these days who are doing their thing are guys who are outside guys, the Jeffersons, the Jamar Chase, Devontae Adams, Puka is just a beast. I don't know what category you would put him in. He's in his own category. But I guess, he more than anybody did what I did because he does 90% of his work in the slot. And
this is Puka.
And that's what I did. I mean, most of the time, especially when Jerry got there, I was in the slot 99% of the times that we lined up. You know what I mean? So, so I think from that standpoint, most of these guys are outside guys, and they're able to do what they did. I was in there with the linebackers and safeties, man. Bumping in, with the big shoulder pads, all that stuff, looking like a mini tight end or something. But
I do remember that with you. You did have huge shoulder pads. I do remember that.
Yeah, I had what people didn't know is I had a bad shoulder. And so for years, we were putting extra padding in there. And then I got custom-made pads. And that helped out. So they got a little smaller, but they because the ones used to be out here, these were more rounded, and because they were fit for my body, and they worked out a little better, man. But yeah, I don't say that because I think anything less about. I think these guys are incredible guys and could have played in our era and done just as well. But I did what I did because, I played with 17 different quarterbacks with the Raiders and three different quarterbacks with Tampa in 1 year. And one thing I realized was that every quarterback can throw the ball 5, 10, 15 yards down the middle of the field. You know what I mean? No matter how bad he was, everybody can throw that. Everybody can throw that route. Now, outside the numbers, all that stuff, 40 yards down the field, you may be taking a shot. But so I spent a lot of time, I would always tell the quarterback, not every play, but hey, I'm here for you, right? Because I'm 5, 10, 15 yards in the middle of the field. So if they get pressure, if they get a little nervous, they won't get rid of the ball. Guess who's right there in the middle of the field for you? Right here, baby.
Right.
The ball
Yeah. Makes sense.
So I did things I had to do to, try and help the team, but also obviously help myself.
This was awesome.
No problem. Thank you, man. You be good.